Hello, welcome to He's Hot, but Something's Off with me, just Joey T. It is warm in Los Angeles, and it's especially bad for me because I walk to the gym. I go to the gym most days of the week, and when normal people, when it's warm outside, they'll be in a tank top, a sleeveless tee, or no shirt. They're in shorts, they're in flip-flops or something. I'm the opposite. I cover up as much of my body as possible from the sun. The UV index. Went to the gym today, and I had just left the house, and I just pulled up because I was curious what the UV index is, and it was 11, which is as high as it goes. But I will put sunscreen on my face and my neck, but I don't like putting on sunscreen on my body. And sunscreen's usually hard to wash off because most sunscreen is water resistant. That means it's very hard to wash off. So I cover myself up. I have long pants. I have this UV jacket that zips up all the way to like under my chin, and it's got a hoodie. So I put the hoodie on. I've got a baseball cap. I pull it down low, but it gets a little sweaty under everything. So walking to the gym is not that bad, but it's a leisurely walk. You know, it's like a little bit of shade, and that's fine. But like after you've had like a full session at the gym, and then you like try to walk home. I don't shower at the gym. I don't like doing that. So I'm not super sweaty at the gym, just for the record. I don't really sweat that much. Like at the gym itself, I'm not like sweating bullets or anything. I think it's super warm at the gym anyways, and there's AC at the gym. But you know, after like a good workout, putting all that stuff back on, by the time I get home, the first thing I do once I get into the house and I close the door behind me, it's literally like stripping down naked. Everything comes off. Jacket comes off, hat comes off, bag comes off, and then the pants, like I jacket, and immediately like the pants come off. Because I've got these long pants that I wear. They're kind of like joggers, I guess. They're not like super thick winter joggers, but they're not meant for like 90-degree weather. It's about like high 80s in LA right now. They're not really meant for that. So it's not super, well, it's a little sweaty under the pants by the time I get home from the gym, to be really honest. Anyways, how is everybody doing? In an effort to keep the house a little cooler, and also just to like generally save money on the electricity bill, my ceiling lights in my living room that I'm sitting in right now, I podcast on my dining room table nowadays. The ceiling lights are off. I've got the fan going. So in the daytime, we'll get up to inside the house. It gets up to like nearly 80 degrees. But if I'm in the house and I'm just sitting there, I'm at my computer or I'm on the couch, I'm not trying to do chores in the house. If I'm doing chores, if I'm cleaning the house, it does get warm. So I gotta maybe pick a day when it's like not that warm to like do some of those chores. But I'm just sitting there. I just have the fan, and I don't need the AC. It could be like, I think earlier today was like 80, got up to 80 degrees inside the house. But with the fan, it's completely fine, honestly. But at night though, the AC just has to come on because I just can't fall asleep when it's that warm. Yeah, but it's nice. I thought we were going to get June gloom, which is a real thing in Los Angeles, but it's been pretty nice weather since the start of June. I just realized it was June 18th, so it's Wednesday as I'm recording this. I swear it was like the 12th or the 13th or something. And for most of the month to be over, it is so crazy. I was doing some work thing earlier today, and I had to like basically make this like big payment to a vendor to order stuff. And I was looking and it's like, oh, it's the 18th already? Not that like the bill was going to be overdue. Like they had just sent the bill today, but I was like, okay, they sent over the invoice today. I need to pay by the end of the month. I was like, oh, okay, how many days do I have left? It's like, what actual day of the month is this? Like, oh, it's the 18th. So I have till like the 30th to pay it, which I knew I had till the 30th to pay, but I was like, oh shit, I need to move some money around really quickly. Anyways, we don't usually do news on the podcast, but I do read the news all the time. I don't know, somewhere along the way, I think I got used to just keeping up on current events and things like that. I definitely read up on like financial news, like stock market news, things like that. That's one of the regular things I check every day. And not every day, but most days, I'll just check the general news, like a general news website. The other thing I check for is like tech news, because I am a techie. So like I'll check tech news. It's like, oh, is there, I don't know, some discount on some tech? Not that I'm buying anything usually, or it's like some new product announcement or something like that. But for the general news, like the last week or so, there's been so many big major headlines in the news. Usually when you go to a news website, they get like the one headline that doesn't take up like the entire width of like the web page. You know, there's always a headline, but it's like it doesn't take up the full screen. But I feel like the last few days, there's been so many big, huge headlines that would take up the full width of the screen. I'm on like one particular news website that I usually check. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to make it seem like I'm partial to like some particular news, because even that's politicized anyways these days. But it was like one major headline, and you scroll down, and other major headline, and then another major headline after that. There's been so much stuff going on. And these days, like probably around the start of the year, soon after the presidential elections, really honest, I stopped checking the news all the time because it just keeps you, a lot of times the news keeps you on this edge of like I don't know, restlessness, anxiety, even if it's like not a political thing. But I have kind of sort of been a lot more measured in the news that I take in. I read about like tech news, I read about car news, but like the actual like big news headlines, sometimes they report stuff that I don't even really want to know about. And it's like some of the articles are, for example, I just read this article. I don't think I should go into details of it, but anyways, it's a slightly controversial subject. But some friends sent it over, and then there's a line in there that like insinuates, in my opinion, something that wasn't really true about a particular industry. And it's stuff like that. Sometimes I read a news article and the journalistic standards, I guess, are not what they used to be. So many people get their news from TikTok and Twitter and things like that. Oh, you know what's really annoying? You know what? Let's not even talk about the actual like news media anymore, because I'm already over it. But a lot of people get their information from TikTok and whatever. You know what I don't like to see? I don't like seeing influencers deliver news. I don't like that, because I feel like a lot of influencers that try to do news, they sensationalize it so much. And I already kind of sort of don't like how some influencers super sensationalize everything they talk about, because I don't. But sometimes it's like very clickbaity. But I know when you are on TikTok and you're scrolling through, people sometimes only see the first half a second or 1 second of your video, because you can just keep swiping through endlessly. There's like a million videos you can keep swiping and swiping and swiping, but you only have like that half second or 1 second to actually capture someone's attention. So they have to like have some sort of, I guess they have to, from a content creator point of view, if you want to catch someone's attention, scrolling through the feed, you have to do something a little extra, I guess, in the first extra whatever seconds. You know what else I don't like about videos, like social media videos in general, like TikToks and stuff like that, is when they have, but a lot of influencers and content creators do this, is when they're like a talking head in front of like a background. So they're showing something, and then like they superimpose their head onto it. I think TikTok probably has like a built-in feature to do that. I never got on board with that trend. Oh, you know what else I don't like? Okay, I swear this was not supposed to be a rant, but on YouTube, the clickbaity thing that people do is to have those like thumbnails where like the influencer, they'll put their own face onto the thumbnail and they're having some sort of like super crazy facial expression. I never understood that, but it must work because so many of them do it. But whenever I see someone's like stupid, ugly facial expression, it makes me want to not click on it. It's like sometimes ads have the opposite effect. There's sometimes I'm streaming some sort of show on my TV, and sometimes there are ads in between, which is fine. And some of those ads are companies just taking influencer TikTok reels or Instagram reels and just putting them onto the streaming TV, like the streaming service, as like a TV ad. And it's in like that vertical portrait orientation as well. There's just like one product that's like some sort of herbal whatever drink that's supposed to be good for some part, some organ or something, your liver or bladder or whatever. And they have this chick talking about it like this. It's clearly an influencer chick who's paid to do it, but like all these people in ads are paid, right? Obviously. But anyways, and she's like talking about how whatever good or magical or whatever is going to win you lottery tickets. And this girl, I can tell she is reciting lines and she's not a good actress. And I can tell it's not genuine. It's like, if you can have an influencer, you can hire an influencer to do marketing for your company, and then you're going to take that video and put it onto a streaming service where millions of people are going to see that ad on like a TV, like a big screen TV. It's not just like a random TikTok ad that someone is just going to like maybe even just see the first second and swipe through because they keep swiping through TikTok. You know, a lot of people, like the ads on the TV, you can't fast forward through the ads. You're stuck watching it. This chick, I don't even remember what product it was, like some non-cleverly named product. It was gross. But this chick was like, they should have seen that ad and be like, this does not pass muster for TV, even just for streaming, never mind cable. It's like, I have no idea why they put this ad on, but I can sure as hell tell you I'm not buying that product. So sometimes ads can have this effect of, at least to me anyways, the ad is not good, and I'll think I do not want to buy that product. Yeah, but like whatever streaming service I'm on, like you watch stuff on a particular streaming service for long enough, the ads will repeat eventually. Just like when you watch regular TV, like you watch cable, and the ads that come on naturally on cable networks, you will eventually you eventually start seeing ads repeat. You know, there's not that many new ads that they're serving all the time. Yeah, but like, I don't like this trend of them like having influencers do these like streaming service TV ads. There was another one where like this chick was like, she wasn't reciting lines, but she kept on saying like, oh, this product is like good and great, and was just like variations of her saying how good something was without explaining why it was good or like how much she liked it. It was just saying like, oh yeah, this was good, and it's like so awesome, and then it's great. It's like you're literally just saying the same word, but like throwing a thesaurus at it. I also can't believe whatever. I don't remember what product it was. I was annoyed and distracted by how crap that influencer was, and also how like that company's PR marketing department chose to put that piece of shit onto a streaming service, because I think you probably have to pay a decent amount of money to put your ad onto the streaming services. Like, you think Disney Plus is gonna let you have that for cheap? So I have no idea how we got from talking about the weather's warm to talk about news headlines, to talk about how bad a lot of influencers are at making videos. I mean, the whole point of being an influencer these days is to be able to like plug and hog products. Good influencers can do it convincingly. I feel like the really kind of like top tier type influencers, I mean, I don't follow a lot of influencers, to be really honest with you. I don't know a lot of influencers. There's like a few tech influencers a couple of tech influencers that I watch some of their videos some of the time. But they're like top tier, like they're top tier influencers. They're like the top like 0.1% in like the tech influencer space. They're very like popular influencers. But the way they plug products, it's it feels organic and natural. They're not just like some random person on Instagram that is like cold, just like cold calling, cold emailing companies to offer to like be an influencer for them. Like I started my skincare company, and somehow like I just got like, I don't know, there was like a random influencer like every week, or like a few of them every week, that would just like suddenly hit me up or email me like the regular the support line, and just be like, oh, I'm an influencer and I can create content, blah blah blah. Some of them have like 1,000 followers. Like you're not an influencer at 1,000 followers, honey, and like 800 of those are bots. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's ridiculous, because I know people that are not influencers at all, that don't try to be. They're just posting like random selfies with no ulterior motive on Instagram, and they have more than like 1,000 followers. I've got like, I've got more than 1,000 followers, and I don't even really call myself an influencer, honestly. So yeah, it's just crazy. Everybody thinks they're an influencer. You know, at my gym, just recently, I noticed this. Uh, just like earlier this month, like I noticed a couple of people were filming themselves working out at the gym. There's just like one guy. He came in. There was a particular week where he came in like a few times that week. I haven't seen him. Maybe he was visiting, but I've never seen him at the gym before. But that particular week, he came in a few times. And he's got this vlogging camera. I know it's a vlogging camera, but I have that same camera, the DJI Osmo 3. It's very much, you only get it for vlogging. It's very purpose-built to be a vlogging camera. You wouldn't get it if you weren't really. They had it on a tripod. And when I first got to the gym that first day, he had the tripod. He had this tiny little camera, vlogging camera, set up on a tripod in the locker room. And there's actually there's a TV. There's a big screen TV right beside the entrance to the locker rooms at my gym, and it shows like ads, and like it shows some notices, and it sometimes just show like random videos. It's not signage technically, but as part of the rotation of the stuff it shows on that screen, one of the things it will show is this big orange sign that says no photos or videos in the locker room. So I mean, it's not shown the whole time, but like you go to the gym enough times that it will say that. So I find it funny that the very first time I saw him at the gym, the first time I saw him, he was trying to like take some video like in the locker room, because he's got like this tripod and he's got the camera on it. And then later on the around the gym, he was just vlogging himself doing various exercises. And I don't really have a problem with that. If there was any place you would expect to see that, it would be LA, to be really honest. That I didn't have a problem with, but he wasn't like in anyone's way, really. Well, he wasn't in my way, or when I saw that, when I was nearby, and whenever I saw him on a piece of equipment with the camera wasn't in someone's way. But later on that week, there was like some girl that was videoing herself working out on her phone, and she's like, she's on this machine, and beside this machine is a rack of dumbbells. And my thing about dumbbells at the gym is like, don't work out right in front of. I know it's very popular. A lot of people work out right in front of the dumbbells, but I never want people to like loiter around or block access to the dumbbells. If you're doing a set of something in front of the dumbbells, because it's usually in front of a mirror and you are trying to look in front of a mirror, I'm like kind of okay with that. But like, don't loiter there between your sets. That's just my thing, because you're like standing in front of weights that other people might want to get to. So like this chick, she's got her like phone propped up on like something, and it's like right in front of this rack of dumbbells, because the machine she was on is like right beside this rack of dumbbells, and she's got her phone like 3 or 4 feet away. Like I get what she's trying to do. The urge I had to fucking drop kick that fucking phone out of there, I had to like go back to my therapy and be like, okay, choose your own adventure. Choose your own adventure. Don't drop kick her phone. Is this wrong? Yeah, no, I get it, but it's also like, I'm trying to work out. I just want to get at the weights. I don't have a lot of sympathy for you filming yourself working out. You know what the thing it doesn't help though? Sometimes, especially near the end of a gym session, I get hungry, which makes me more sensitive to getting hangry. So I always try to have some food right before I go to the gym. It's usually like oatmeal with some fruits. And usually that will do me well. I don't usually get hungry near the end of the gym. I can't go to the gym on a empty stomach. I can't go to the gym already hungry because I'll just be way too distracted by the fact that I'm hungry, and it'll be very hard to concentrate. But lately, though, near the end of the gym sessions, maybe I'm gradually starting to like push more and burn more calories after like ramping back up from like a few weeks ago after EDC. I've kind of sort of ramped back up now to my regular gym routine. So maybe burning more calories. I'm starting to sometimes feel just like a little bit hungry near the end of my gym sessions. Today was one of those days, and yesterday was one of those days. And my friends know I get hungry. It's a possibility. When you're hungry, when I'm hungry, it's a little easier to. I'm more irritable. There's no other ways to say it. Let's not sugarcoat it. I'm more easily irritated, and yeah, I just don't. Choose your own adventure. Choose your own adventure. Choose your own adventure. Okay, let's end it there because I always say I want to keep the podcast short, and like 20 something minute ish podcast, I think will be good for today. It is warming up a little bit as I'm recording this, but yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not an angry person. It's what the damage is done. I've said all the things I've said, and to then afterwards say I'm not an angry person, I feel like I'm a very passionate, opinionated person. I'm not super easygoing. Just not the kind of person that I am. Like if I'm with friends or family, it's like, what do you want to eat? And like no one has an idea, and everyone just be like, I don't care. If literally, you've all been in that situation where like you and a group of friends, okay, you guys are gonna go out for a meal, and then people are like, oh, what should we eat? Sometimes you get a group of people where everyone is like, oh, eat whatever. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, I'll eat anything. If I'm in that group, I will eventually say like, okay, let's go eat this. Because we can't all just be like, I'll eat whatever. Like we need to actually come to a decision. However, if someone has an idea, I'll be like, okay, sure, it's fine. So I'm not picky and hung up about everything. But I understand that I have given all of you not that idea today on this podcast. Let's end it there. I do want to remind everyone, if you would like to support the podcast, you would like to support the channel, I do have a Patreon where you can get lots of Patreon exclusive content. Just went up this week, another installment of my travel vlog from where I went to Asia, went to Seoul, and went to Bangkok back in April. And then after the travel vlog for that trip is over, the next one that's coming up is my trip to EDC Las Vegas. I got quite a bit of footage in there. That's definitely going to be like multiple parts. And I had so much fun at EDC, so I'm very excited for my patrons to see that. And I actually did another live stream with my top tier OPA subscribers. I do a monthly live stream. And we had a great live stream in May, and we just did the one for June this past weekend. It was so much fun because I get to like really interact with some of my fans, and I'm talking and speaking, and there's like the live chat. So I actually really enjoyed the live streams. We've been doing a live stream every month for I think almost like a year now. We've had the Patreon up for I think nearly a year. I have to double check, but for like several months now, and like the live streams are so much fun. But in addition to that, I also post just like random tidbits of things. So David Lam is staying with me, and I just posted a selfie of us onto my Patreon. It's actually a pretty cute selfie, actually. So I do post like random tidbits onto my Patreon. So if you would like to support the channel and also get some extra content in return, the Patreon is a great way to do that. But if you just want to leave a tip, just a little token of your appreciation on all of my YouTube channels, you can click on the little extra three dotted menu thing besides the like button for any video. Then there will be a thanks option where you can leave a little tip directly for me within YouTube, which would be much appreciated. Or I also have Buy Me a Coffee, which is a platform that you can use to support your favorite creators. Whenever I say that line, I feel like I'm plugging or like advertising that platform, but it's like the easiest, shortest, most concise way for me to explain what Buy Me a Coffee, the app, does. Because a lot of creators do use it to like just get one-time tips from their fans. It's a tipping platform, but it's called Buy Me a Coffee. When someone mentioned that to me before I even knew what the app was, I had a fan and they asked me if they could like buy me a coffee or if I had buy me a coffee, and I thought they literally meant like they wanted to buy me a coffee. I didn't know that it was an app or like a platform, and so they had to like explain it to me because I'd never heard of it before. But I do have that now. So yeah, feel free to buy me a coffee or leave me a little YouTube thanks. And there's always the Patreon as well. But until next time, bye y'all.